Bersyukur nak Islam jong unongsan Hima.
Ban penne pensa ya geriti ke dastur jong kerja benreo hagi benta bapher ke Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council lingba ke project ban wat benya ya geriti ke dastur ke Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council lingba ke research scholars kalapha ban ti benya ban minta kasni kila ya ban pelat pat ba ya kini ki kot jingtip nega benta ke jingmentoi jong ki pat ba haba keren negeri kesini kalian sembut menteri rangba jong kejela ba preston tensong baru badai pei ru ye ketenat DCA ulia Thoh bana kalian jong hadin bobla shimti komo menteri badai pei ye keteng ketenat ula persang hala ibori barit ban penpet ye jing duna khamtam ban pet ye jing Pdeng ha Pdeng ke Sorkar bat ki district council na kalian menteri rangba kejela Conrad sangma haba ai jing keren ula ong Shibon ki Ïaroh ki basa teng hegi Islam ki bamenta balala pat ban pendep ling bagajing shimti jong ba preston balayo ro ye kajing menjur no ulat ke jela ulai kajing Ïaroh ye ke Hcdc kamtam ye ke isi ke bamenta ke bala treshitom ba de trelang bat ke Sorkar ban penur long ye ke Ïaroh ban yo jing menjur no ulat Shusula Ïaroh ke Ïaroh ye ke Hcdc bakara sedang ye gini jing lom jing tip ha ke bede bat shibon ki mat ki badan kam la ka dei ha ke rukam shim Jhadc keriti bat ke kendo ka syiam bat ki wei ula benrap ru de baong ba ke GHADC bat ke JHADC ru ki de ban bot ye gini Nuksa ban pendek pensa ye gini ki mat lingba ka Thoh katar ula ong bar kalian so un so Thoh ka Sorkar Pdeng ban bu ye gini ki kot ha ki skol ba bat hagi wei pat ki jaka bu kot kenang ba ki wei ru kintip ha ke bede bat keriti ke dostor jong ki reulong
Thank you so much, madam.
Pet yaki kam ki baka district council SCC latrei ngala ban syukur kemau kandian ba kali katem joga ke SCC sedang na ar hajar kat kendai bat kapan sakut no shed kadai kawai na kitamba kamsan ki bat dikot jongga ki badon hanti HDC kila warna ya kajing kela kebun Pdeng kajing kela KCM na kepor si kepor nrengui kajing kela hakin nike hendrius nem dunang kibaki layak nanti ni na Sorkar bunsin ngipet ya kakmat kajongi Syaki lai keli ki district council. Namang iji om baka district council. Kadai makan. Kapa ai ya kecing ada. Ya kecela kejungi kepada lai keli ki jan kini. Ghadc kasih banjai dia. Baka expectation joki pat ba kamlong kumbangi kimilanti. Tenrei mentang i ya kecingkela kamtam hapo kake HDC. Sibun ba ki an ki kanun ka bagi latau. Bat ka don ru ka jingetrei senrop lang bat ni ke Sorkar. Kumula omusi en meneh Mila tahu ya kawai ke standing expert committee Haswa bikin pas ya kan nuka bil ke joki ban penggelalong kaan Kadon swa ke jaya beliau jimut bat ki department jongi Hapo sekretariat Bat kadis council bat hading nanda Ki pa ya ka bil ke joki Ki pas hapo kayang dorbar ke joki Bat ka bakhandu ka Sorkar ka pa syaulat ba un asen lani na proof ya kata mateng don ki ba ong ba ka Sorkar ka kwa ban kini no ya ka bor jom ka discuss kata ka dei bapa ngali wei u bapa ban penne ban pensa ban penklan susu ya kar kontrai kam Ghadc Council naman ngayon day lumba jong ka 6 jili ngilong kumni kumilong but ngangits kenro bengin nang climb nang disakman tang bakasyok hakin nong man jong kayeng dorbar tauan jong Ghadc Council kilong kami kilong kapa kikun sama nakalian coba Sorkar ngapik ya ke DCE ke District Council Affairs idon kamusin jong ke jingkit kri bangin ya tray nakam taban penbit pendiang ya ke jelang ke jongi parokoi la kalong haka District Council la kalong hapo ka state government jongi parokoi kublai siajan ya ka house juga ke HDC ngayon bad opposition bad ruling di trailang sunrok apa kadon kanu ka bill kadon kanu ka amendment ngayon bakadon gaji di trailang ngai kublai nama kita yaki light hongwood arpo kendai elected but iway nominated ki balaya tray minta lacan kut katen kublai untuk ku yaki Ghadc penriu jong ibu kan kenmau ya kijabing kibapro kijompi baro ya kan kontrai kam jong kene ke committee ka research and development committee hapo ka jingelam jong EEM in charge iba karne sosyan rengkan pat kene kidikot kibapro kajabing kibapit kibabiam kidon hani khat prateli kini kimat kibakam komsa kawai na kini ki khatra teli niyo ban release kumalai teli la de south teli kini ki research work kawai ni kita kabasu tenat ade ka coincidence ka ngam kadai kane ka research kabala Thoh da Ferdinand Lindo Maslong but Dr. Saralin A. Lindo siapa mengatakan senang kabacarja warga kerteng ke senang kadang senang masa dengan dia tu detail ke senang masa nang aku apa mungkin ke kokon sepuluh nasio makadon syaharing Amerika tips Asia tips saya boleh adon hanno kadang senang masa balai ba kini kinong la research ito ini sibik mare pohe se pulang nangan niya tu komo ki anna pala puli sa phone ba du prestun plan ka di sinong godon ai mo te ka banga kwa ban ong handu ko kini ki research work ki ba kini ki pro jabi kila contribute ngan next kada ba kanang enrich susu ya ka jingtip kejami kung kajat beri ban kung kadis Council barakoi na kabinti omtang kakak KHDC kabinti bagagaru Hills Autonomous Council bagajat Hills Autonomous Council ru kan board yang tinja jom ka KHDC kala dei kapor kangen hak banyak kendit duri. Bakawai ka baswa pangan syong ka bangakwa ban supet kenmau. Nia kenmau baha ka ekabajia atau por kaba ni yak fluid ni kedem kumka North Eastern States Barakawai. Pat kata kadai kabungi om ka CAB kampat dei ka CAB. Kayak bajia kapor biakun yang taka CAB ni na North Eastern State porkhoy ia persya ban as ya di CAB ban ngamla ban klep apok jelam jom chief minister badon brom jeni Usri Conrad sama during that term oil he took a stand And he collected all the political parties at Guwahati. I remember that time. All the political parties of the northeastern states, we were collected ourselves at Guwahati. And the decision taken at that point of time was, let us go to Delhi. We'll fight and we'll say to the government of India, no to the CAA. Kaya kebencian kabakatu, ilayalik meeting, ke Sorkar India ke Khadc la ke jong ke Sorkar la ke jong ke jela, ban ya beliau jumut, ban hakabakatu nakaliang jong ke jela megala, hapo ke jelam jong Chief Minister jong, nialumlang omtang ya kiseng balang, ya kinong sensar Hima, kinong sensar snong borok nialum yalang, bagi kiken hun kiba per, nialin lang si Delhi, ban ya keren, ban persyak jur ya kan, te hakabakan, tang silai niyo ikajibang, now Home Minister Wamisha, bagkata kalau kajuba kabala kumno kandai 100% ni hun kebensi hak bede bertemu bagkata kalau uong ladeni pas ya ka CAB bahkan kela ka CAA hadir jongka parlimen ko nong megala kan mau bah lada kalong CAA ro number pidon ka 6 children, you should be exempted. Pinlay no. Lagi pas kan kanaro kung makalalong nita ka sige, nre, hapay kalaya, number pidon ka 6 children, yun palay mo. Kata nga si product, tangkangyan ba pensyuto, ya kajingkolo, John ka 60. Balay na ba doon kiba om? Laday ka por bagi replace no. Nafagi yo di social media kaya ini replace no. Hana ka 60 kamlong. Ka 60 kam doon ka. Ngampa bandidi. Mereka bangakwa ban Khadc ye kita ki perlok ki baslu thu bagar ban om tang kau please go deeper ngam kam sekejeli papin sutu ya kador pada kabor jom ka 60.
And I want to put on record the leadership, the vision that the Honorable CEM has brought not just to this program and to the research area, but to the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council as a whole. I still remember that afternoon was about a year back, if I'm not wrong, when the Honorable CEM, along with some of the officials and members of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council had come to my office and presented this paper, this project to me, mentioning about this idea of promoting research and knowledge within our society. And it immediately caught my attention. In fact, I even remember suggesting to him that once Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council is able to do this well, we must encourage the Jhadc Hills Autonomous District Council and the Ïaroh Hills District Council to also follow in the same footsteps, to finally see it fructify and to see the scholars and to be amongst you and to see the work complete from that day till today, from that idea to actual fructification of the idea and actually holding the books in my hand is indeed a great sense of satisfaction. I remember discussing with the Honorable Prime Minister regarding different aspects and issues about Northeast, tribal society, Meghalaya state. And in that discussion, Honorable Prime Minister was very particular about the knowledge that is there within the tribal society. Friends, tribal society and culture has so much to offer to this world. Sometimes we tend to overlook and take things for granted. But as scholars, I'm sure you will know better that the traditional knowledge and the practices in some areas could and are actually solutions to some of the global problems that we face, whether environmental issues. I just saw that there was a book that is talking about the governance in environment through the traditional practices. I'm really looking forward to reading that book. I just got 5 books in front of me. Another book was talking about the connection between traditional medicine, healing, and getting health tourism and promoting that together. Again, a really great concept and idea. And converting this knowledge that we have into something that is much more valuable and can be of larger interest to the society as a whole and to the world as a whole. Came into place how it is now today, conflicting with society, just skimming through the books. There was a book on the marriage practices of the Khasi society. There was a book on medicine plants and different knowledge about healing that the Khasi society believes in and practices. It's just amazing what we can offer to the world. And that is really what all this is about. When we go and speak to people about all of these things, we can't speak to them at the level of Prime Minister, at the level of Government of India, or even at international level, if we do not have the proper documentation and research done in a professional manner. And that is why, when CEM had brought this proposal to me, it did not even take a second to decide. We immediately said we are going ahead with this. And to be very, very frank with you, it gave me idea to bring out this research grant even at the government level. So you're aware that Government of Meghalaya is also giving 3 lakh rupees of grant from the art and culture. We have done it. That's a nodal department. But we are promoting close to 40 to 50 researchers right now. But we intend to do much more in the future. To our young musicians, I think from Shankar Dev College, And I don't know, some of you may have noticed, I personally noticed it myself a bit, were the beats that they were performing. And how the sound changes when they hold the stick on one side of the drum. It gives a slightly more subdued sound. And so it may look like a move, but actually it is, changing the sound of the drum. Now, knowledge like this about how our traditional music and the musicians play the drum, the beats, play the dvitara, or what was the history behind it. I think all of this knowledge needs to be documented. And we really want to promote and push. I will be telling the education department that all these books that have been researched, they must be made compulsorily available in all the libraries of colleges, schools, universities, in our state at least. And I would like to push this even to other parts of the country. We will write to Education Minister, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhanji, requesting him that at least some, if not all, of these books should be procured and kept in the sections which are meant for our tribal society in different parts of the country, because people need to read, people need to understand, people need to know. And this research and hard work that you've put in should bear fruits and result for us, and hopefully it could open a door for even larger research that could take place. I was just talking to my colleague, Preston, and he was mentioning about one book that is about one of the villages in his constituency, on how there was this entire family. Am I correct? Babasu? Am I correct? And he mentioned to me that that book talks about the research about generations in the family. So they were like the 5th generation or 6th generation. And from the earlier days, the parents were deaf. And for whatever reason, the entire generation after generation after generation are all deaf. And it's a mystery. How? Is it genetics? Is it DNA? Is it something to do with the environment? We don't know. But I'm just saying that a research has started in that area of what it is. I'm sure that genetic engineers or scientists or whatever you call them will be very keen one day to understand this. So it's not that, so I'm saying that the children after children generations are all deaf. Something is there in this DNA or the genetics which is leading to this, and it could be of great importance at the national and international level. What I'm saying is a small seed that we've sown today, a small thin book that has been written by one of you. I don't know who the writer is. Is it there? The person research of this. Something very big, where some researchers from outside would be very keen to come in and understand what's happening out here. So this is what really it is. I hope we will go from culture, from language, from music, from historic places to overall history of our state. So many areas that we can cover, and I really encourage our young researchers and scholars to please take interest in this, document it, and ensure that this is available for the future generations to utilize in the best possible way. And I've mentioned this even last time in some programs we're having in the auditorium, where we had talked about our language, we talked about overall culture, documentation, and all this that we're doing is connected to that vision and that goal and the target that we have. And we strongly believe this, strongly believe that our tradition and our culture is our identity. It's as simple as that. We lose it, we don't document it, we don't keep track of it, we will lose our identity and we will lose this entire aspect of who we are. So therefore, it's very important to keep these aspects going. And while, of course, as a government, we are pushing very hard for important aspects like the recognition of our language in the parliament, the constitution, we also are aware that while that process continues, what can we do to promote our own language? What can we do to promote our own culture? And that is where all these things are coming from, and that is why we are happy to fund and support. I can assure our CEM that going forward, more and more support will be given, and we'll be happy to work together to ensure that this is done in a much more better and more effective manner and more wider manner in the future. We are also working on a process. Again, I'm sharing this with you. We are not yet down to the final details of it. But I am very, very keen that our state, our students, our children must have knowledge of the different languages in our state. Why shouldn't a Khasi student know a few words in Ghadc? And why shouldn't the Ghadc students know a few words in Khasi? I think it's important for us to make it mandatory up to certain class level to ensure that both the languages are taught. Maybe up to class 5, maybe up to class 7, 8. I think education department will be in a better position. Of course, challenges are there. We'll need teachers, we'll need trained personnel, we'll need technology, we'll need the courses, so on and so forth. But it's something that I personally feel that we should work towards together to ensure that this happens, because that is the only way for us to ensure that the integration of the state moves forward positively in the right direction, so that we can take the state for which our forefathers, our leaders had struggled for. It's important that we, as responsible leaders and citizens, must keep that together. And this will be a crucial part to ensure that we move in that direction. I'm sorry I took a lot of time, but as I said, it's an important program and it's an excellent opportunity for me to engage with all of you. And I would request our CEM, Mapunyan also, that it'd be nice to once in a while call these research scholars and allow them to make presentations on their research, you see. And if I'm doing research on something, I would like the other scholars to see what I'm doing. And maybe somebody will then connect with me, saying that, oh, you're doing research on this. Well, it goes along with what I'm doing. Can we work together? So I want to encourage, because this is what we're going to do for the CM, the research scholar grant that we're giving. We're going to be allowing presentations one evening where I will sit myself. I will listen to the presentations being made by the researchers, allow them to speak, and then engage with each other, discuss about the issues, and take things forward. So I would encourage that if that can be done, I think it will be very positive.